Okay, I'm back. This time it's finals for Battle of the Bastards. So TFR obviously made it to finals, and this time we're the higher seed, so we got to pick the extra tier. So we chose standard because I felt that standard gave us the best chances of winning. So yeah, we have 3 standard games, 2 LC games, and 1 low tier game. We're going up against Hentinamo, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, so it starts off in an LC game, so unfortunately I won't be able to commentate very well because I'm not very sure about how to deal with LC, but we'll go over the team anyway. Okay, so Koala has Fair Seed, that's just mixed defensive it looks like, with Spikes, Bullet Seed, Toxic, and Leech Seed. Offensive Litten with Fake Out, U-Turn, Flare Blitz, and Taunt. Wingull, Boots, Scald, Hurricane, Roost Defog. It looks like just fast and offensive with Roost Defog. Mudberry Choice Banded Stealth Rocks with Heavy Slam, Earthquake, Close Combat. And Pancham with the Bulk Up Parting Shot, Knockoff, Drain Punch set. And then Spritzy as well as on the team with Calm Mind, Wish Tech with Berry Juice. So, let's get into the game. Okay, so, as you can see, Koala is taking on Guys, so this should be a pretty good matchup. Alright, so leads off with Trubbish, obviously forced to switch. We just click Earthquake immediately, get pretty good chip on the Turtwig. As he SDs, we go Wingull to pivot into, we go into Pharisee so that we can pivot into Wingull on the predicted superpower. And Koala makes that read, and he does it perfectly fine. Next up, we get a free Roost here because he shouldn't stay in. And we go hard into Mudbray on the Fake Out to increase our defenses, and then from here we kill it with the Earthquake because we're Choice Banded. So very good turn for us already. Then we Earthquake once again. I'm not too sure about this, but it does prevent the SD, so that's fine. Unfortunately, he gets 3 hits. If we got 2, we would have got another free kill, but it is what it is. We can go in here and U-turn fairly freely, as we just do just that. Then we go into Pancham to Bulk Up, I believe. Yep. So the Gunk Shot miss was unfortunate because now we actually can just knock off and basically kill this over 2 turns without having to risk a poison or other extra damage. We would had that Gunk Shot. Oh shoot. Okay. Had that Gunk Shot landed, we would have been at yeah, we would have been around 50% after the Drain Punch recovering us because assuming he landed 2, we would have taken the 2 damages and we would have been at like 45, and then we would have gotten the HP back due to Drain Punch. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't really deal with this at this point. He has to Fake Out and tries to kill with Aerial Ace, doesn't work out. But yeah. On this turn, Koala I think makes a misplay, but it's not too bad because we're still in a winning position. So here, the only thing that this Cinderace can do is click Gunk Shot to try and live the Drain Punch. However, if we knock off, we cover any move it clicks and it kills guaranteed, and yeah, like, it just would have been better just to click the knockoff here. Unfortunately, Koala just clicked the Drain Punch, but it's not that big of a deal. We're still winning. He lands the second Gunk Shot here to take us out. We go into Wingull. He Sucker Punches. Another misplay by Koala. I think he just forgot that this gets Sucker Punch, but we should have just gone into Litten and faked out immediately, but it's fine because we can Fake Out into U-Turn, and we do just that. And here we go into Spritzy as he brings in his Score Bunny once again. He kills us immediately with Gunk Shot, but again, we have the Litten here just to click Fake Out and then U-Turn. Fake Out here, he lets Score Bunny die, so now we just have to U-Turn out into Fair Seed and click Bullet Seed. Taunt to prevent the Shell Smash is fine as well. The +2 Aura Sphere I don't believe kills either way, so yeah, it doesn't, but it helps us a little bit regardless, so yep, here we just take it out with Bullet Seed, and that's the end of the game. So, that's it. Good job, Koala. He puts us up 1-0 finals. Very good. Alright, so next up, we have Boot, I believe. Yes. So, Boot brings us Signature Rain with Pelipper, Swampert. Pelipper's just defensive Boots, Defog, Roost. I actually believe Scald was changed to Hurricane because Scald didn't really do much. But yeah, Pert is just max attack, Earthquake Liquidation, Ice Punch Toxic. So Melmetal is a pretty cool one actually, because Melmetal is a Subtext Toxic Double Iron Bash with max Spit F. What this does is it allows us to just switch in on Klefki and get free subs. And it also lets us check the Latios and Special Coco fairly well as well. So yeah, this set could in theory just win on its own if he isn't well prepared for it, so we brought Subtect. Coco is a max HP. It's a utility set, Roost, Deagleam, U-Turn, and T-Bolt, because, well, we just want to prevent his, we want to be able to pivot on his Coco, basically, because we don't have much to come in on close combats from it, so we can pivot using Coco into Melmetal. So yeah, that's what this is for. Next up we have Cradilly. It's just a special wall, and gets up Stealth Rocks, clicks Giga Drain, clicks Toxic, and recovers, and generally just tries to be annoying. So yeah, pretty cool. Dracovish is a cool set. Max special attack, plus nature with Dragon Fang, Draco Meteor. What this is meant to do is it's meant to trap the opposing Seismitoad by Super Fanging, and then clicking Draco Meteor to kill it. So it's a bait set, but it does work very well. It also manages to revenge the Lati if it is locked into anything other than a dragon move, so that's pretty cool. So, let's get into the game. Okay, so, as you can see, we lead with Coco as he leads with Coco. Here, we click Deagleam just to gauge damage and see what he might want to click. This is an okay play. I think I would have liked going hard Melmetal better, but he reveals to be Choice Band Player Off. Here, we go into Melmetal, and we get a free sub here. Or Toxic, either or works. Sub might have been slightly better because he would have been forced to attack us, but that's fine too. We go hard Pelipper on the Toad, which is good, and then we just click Hurricane immediately to essentially just take out the Conch Elder. So that's very good on our end. He lives on 1%, but he will just die now because he can't really do anything. He gets 30% with Mach Punch, but again, not that big of a deal. We click Ice Punch on Serena, which is okay. He just Drop Kicks to take us out, so I'm not sure about that play, but yeah, he misses High Jump Kick, so we got pretty lucky on that. However, we do just get the free sub now, and now he can't actually click High Jump Kick or else he'll die. Unfortunately for him, he just click High Jump Kick, so he just dies to protect. So he clicks Earthquake to break our sub. However, as you can see, Double Iron Bash does do way too much, and we just click it one more time to kill it. Yep. So now we're way up here, and we should just be winning, but he makes a good play and he goes into Coco on our Dracovish, but we do bluff that we are Scarf, and he has to switch, so that's unfortunate for him. However, he makes some good turns as he gets in this on our Fish's Rend, and then he doubles into Coco on our Super Fang to essentially confirm that we are not Scarfed, and to get a free kill with Wall Charge. As he does do just that, we have to go Cradilly, and we click Toxic, which is good. Latios being Toxic is good for us. We go Dracovish here. And this is a pretty big turn because he's locked in, as you can see. He clicked Aura Sphere once again. Boot clicked Draco Meteor this turn. If we get the Draco Meteor off, then this dies and Melmetal wins the game because the only threatening thing is Coco, and we live any one hit from Coco. So, like, this game should just be won if this game should just be won if we land the Draco. Unfortunately, he crits us, and now we're in a losing position because now we have to take the Aura Sphere. And while that isn't terrible, what that does mean is now we're in range of close combat. So that's, take that as you will. We have to try and protect and put us out of range, but unfortunately, it's still a mid roll, but it's a roll, so I can't really. It's a mid roll. Like, he gets it, so I'm not gonna complain about it. But yep, he kills us with the quick close combat to end the game. I don't think that crit mattered, but quite unfortunate. So yeah, now we're tied 1-1, which isn't great, but that crit really sucked for us. It essentially lost us the game. However, I will say that had he landed the first high jump kick on the Melmetal, we would have been in range of the close combat anyway. So not that big of a deal. It kind of evens out. So I think Boop played fine. His opponent just played slightly better with the Coco double. So yep, good game to him. Next up, we have Brett. Okay, so another LC game. This time we have Webb's offense, I believe. Yep. So Focus Sash, Webb's Swaddle, Golett with Stealth Rock, Strain Punch, Stomping Tantrum, and Toxic. I believe Stomping Tantrum is to actually 1v1 the Togepi, because Togepi can obviously Wish Protect, and if he clicks Protect, then Stomping Tantrum will double the next turn, and it will do more than 50%. So that's the point of Stomping Tantrum, I believe. So yeah, Pick-a-Peck is Flame Turret, Bullet Seed, Knockoff, Boom Burst. Basically, if we get a flame charge off and we have rocks up and sashes are broken, this will just win immediately, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, Abra, Life Orb, again, if we have webs up, this will just win. Scraggy, Dragon Dance, knockoff Drain Punch. Again, if you have webs up and sufficient chip on the Togepi, Scraggy will also win. And then double with Berry Juice, Sturdy, Shell Smash, just a standard Shell Smash set. So basically, the plan is get rocks up, get webs up, and then win with either Scraggy, Dwebble, or Shelter, or Pick a Peck. So, yeah. Let's watch the game. Okay, so, Brett leads with Golett just to get up rocks, totally fine. He gets up rocks, as our opponent also gets up rocks, just totally fine. We use Topic Tantrum to break Sturdy. Unfortunately, he does have Berry Juice, so he gets right back to full. We go hard Scraggy here. We threaten the Dragon Dance, so it's okay. But we do just click knockoff in case he does have Roar. And he does have Roar, so that was a good turn for us. He roars to them to Swaddle, which means free webs. And yeah, free webs and rocks are up. This is looking like the beginning of the end for our opponent here. We go Scraggy just to Drain Punch, I believe, because we don't want to get roared out, obviously. Yep, so we do just kill the Shieldon, sorry. And he goes Togepi. We can either stay in to get Chip, we can knock off, or we can go Golett. Either or works. We do just go Golett, which is fine. We can get Chip on this or Toxic It, as we do just Toxic It. So, again, this will lead up to eventually being able to kill this with anything. We get the Stomping Tantrum chip on it as well, and now it's very low. It will die to +1 Scraggy, so if we want to do that, we will. However, Brett realizes that Abra will just win the game right here. Because we are Life Orb, we do take out Togepi guaranteed from this range. If his Abra isn't Sash, he will die to Shadow Ball because he will be slower due to webs. Dwebble will take rocks and will die to Psychic. Shelter will take rocks and will die to Psychic. Farfetch can only click First Impression, however, we have Protect to prevent that. So, he goes into his own Abra, and unfortunately for him, Shadow Ball does just take him out. So, there goes that. Then comes in the Dwebble, as we see, he takes rocks, and immediately dies to Psychic, so there's that gone too. And then, Shelter comes in, and also immediately dies to Psychic. And then Farfetch comes in. He probably doesn't have First Impression at this point, but Brett is good and he clicks Protect just in case. He clicks Knockoff, and he will also just die to Psychic. So yeah, very well played by Brett. He executed the game plan very well. Get up webs, get the necessary chip, and then win with one of your offensive breakers. So, well done on Brett. He leads us 2-1 now, so that's pretty good. Next up, we have my game. So, not gonna lie, going into this game, I was fairly nervous. My opponent has a offensive core of Hydreigon plus Zeraora, and I don't really deal with that very well, considering they both pressure my Mega Slowbro, and I will be having to use Mega Slowbro to pivot on a lot of his stuff, especially his Cinderace. So, let's see what happens, right? We have Roselia with Synthesis Spikes and Dual Step. Just Fizdef. Again, I don't really need Spadef for anything, so I just maxed out Fizdef to help out with Zeraora Calcs. Clefable is Unaware, mixed defensive. I believe this 88 helps with some Flash Cannon roll after rocks or something, and this 172 helps with Zeraora at +1 with Bulk Up. So yeah, that's that. Hydreigon is especially defensive Roost, Dark Pulse, Defog, U-Turn. It's meant to outspeed the Nidoqueen, and then the rest is dumped into Spadef because it's meant to outspeed and defog on the Nidoqueen, so we wanted to be able to take hits from the Nidoqueen as well. So, next up we have Spadef Slowbro. Fizdef was an option, however, since Libero Cinderace isn't allowed, we're not going to be taking that much damage from U-Turn anyway, and the only thing that will damage us is if we're like min speed and he's max special attack Electro Ball, because it goes based off of a speed stat. And since we're so slow and Libero so fast, max special attack Electro Ball will actually do quite a bit if we're max Fizdef. So, that's the reasoning for Mega Slowbro. Obviously, Regenerator, Toxic, Slack Off, Ice Beam, Scald, just fairly standard moves. Ice Beam hits the Hydreigon, is a fairly free click against the Nidoqueen as well. Slack Off for recovery, Scald, Stab, Toxic is good. Alright, so next up we have the main win con, kind of. We have like a couple win cons. One is just try to toxic stall them. The other is to try to trap everything with Lapras, and the third one is just to clean up with Excadrill. He actually does not have a ground immunity. His ground immunities happen to be Hydreigon and Bronzong, both of which are only a ground immunity due to Levitate, which means Mold Breaker will hit them with Earthquake. So, I just decided to go Choice Scarf. Earthquake, Iron Head is the only two moves that we need, and in case we were to get knocked, I have Stealth Rocks and Rapid Spin. Because in this generation, Rapid Spin boosts speed, so it would essentially be like getting the Scarf back had we get knocked. Yeah. This 184 speed just allows us to outspeed Zeraora guaranteed. Max attack, rest into HP. Fairly standard set. Earthquake and Iron Head are the only moves I'm clicking, and likely I'm not even going to be clicking Iron Head. The only time I'm clicking Iron Head is versus the opposing Clefable. So, finally we have Spadef Lapras. Like I said, Hydreigon is a problem, and Clefable is a problem, and Zeraora is a problem. Luckily, Clefable is forced to choose between Flamethrower or Teleport. If it's Flamethrower, then this comes in and traps it and gets rid of all wish passing possibilities, which means that Zeraora and Hydreigon become much easier to handle. If it is Teleport, then Excadrill gets to come in for free because it won't be threatened by Moonblast at all, and I get a free kill because I can just spam Earthquake or Iron Head and it will net a kill 100% of the time versus the opponent's team. So, because of that, I decided to say, okay, so if he's Flamethrower, I have Lapras, and if he's Teleport, I have Excadrill. These two in combination will take advantage of any Clefable set possible. So, Paris Trap, Toxic Rest, just a Spadef, just to help out with Hydreigon, and obviously the Clefable. So, let's see what happens. Okay, so I lead Hydreigon. I want to be safe and just click Dark Pulse here. I think U-Turn was a slightly better play because he shouldn't have stayed in to risk the Earth Power regardless, but we can just U-Turn out this turn after he reveals Leftovers. We can go hard into Lapras. He reveals Flamethrower, so right here I know he cannot be Teleport, which is very good because, well, it would have been very good if he landed the Whirlpool, because that means he would die to Perish Song. Unfortunately, he just gets to go hard into Zeraora, and we missed the Toxic too, so this game is not going very well. I make a good double into Roselia on the Clefable, so that's good for us. I get up Spikes. These Spikes are actually very important because they chip everything into range of Earthquake to 2-hit KO from Excadrill. He flinches our Roselia, and then we go hard Lapras. We're so Spadef, and we take no damage from that Flash Cannon. Here I just click Toxic on Zeraora. Finally, we get the Toxic off on Zeraora to get it poisoned. Now we go hard into Roselia. He bulks up, and if he's Blaze Kick, it's a roll, I believe, unless he's Expert Belt. If he's Expert Belt, it guarantee killed us. Either way, we get killed, and we go into Clefable. Here I click Protect to scout for Iron Tail. Doesn't really matter. No matter what he does, I have a guaranteed switch into it, so the move didn't matter, and Protect was fairly safe. He clicks Sludge Wave into Ice Beam, revealing to be not super offensive, but because we are very Spadef, we take that easily and we can roost it off. Next, we U-turn out on the Clefable, and we can Whirlpool for Chip, or we can double into Clefable, expecting the Zeraora, as I make the good play and I double into Clefable on the Zeraora. I click Moonblast here. I think the correct play would have been just to go into Excadrill, because he's either clicking, he's either going into Clefable or clicking Plasma Fist. So, finally, I go hard into Excadrill after getting the Wish up, so I can get healed up. Unfortunately, he burns us with Flamethrower, so this game is really not looking too hot for us right now. Luckily, we do have Aromatherapy on Clefable, and we make the good play as we double into Clefable on the Girder to get the free Aromatherapy off. From this position, I can either Wish or go hard Lapras. I just go hard Lapras, and then I double into Slowbro on the Zeraora. I don't know about this play. I think I was expecting either the Cinderace or the Girder to come in. However, he does Plasma Fist. He reveals to be Expert Belt, I believe, or that was just a very max roll, and we get the Scald damage off. We go hard into Clefable, and he does less than 50, so I know we can Wish Tech on this thing every day. And yeah, so I do just Wish. Here's an important turn. Because my Slowbro is so low, and I need it to actually come in on Girder, I can't click Protect. I need to take advantage of the fact that Cinderace is in, and go Slowbro in order to get the Wish back up, and then after Regenerator, I will be at full. So I do just that, and he reveals to be Electro Ball, doing no damage because we are max Spadef. We get all our HP back. He U-turns, and I believe I just Scald or Ice Beam here. Oh, actually I make a good play and click Toxic. That was actually a fairly good play. Ice Beam would have been okay too, but Toxic is fine. Here I Whirlpool after he goes into Clefable, and we take out the Zeraora due to residual chip from Whirlpool plus Toxic. He brings in Girder, but now I have a basically full HP Slowbro. after Regenerator, and I can either slack off here or I can click Scald. Slack off was fine, as he goes into Clefable and I just go Lapras, and again, this Lapras is very annoying for him because I'm guaranteed getting multiple types of chip on anything that comes in, either with Whirlpool or with Spikes, or in this case of Girder, both. So Girder cannot constantly come in, and I click Ice Beam here, and we do 51% to the Hydreigon, good for us. He clicks Roost, but I have Spidef Lapras waiting in the back, and once again I can just click Whirlpool, get more chip on this Girder. However, I take that opportunity knowing that he will go Girder, just to double into Clefable and get a free Moonblast off, or double into Hydreigon expecting the Nidoqueen. Either or works. I believe I just make the Moonblast play, to put this in range of the next Dark Pulse, so now I can go hard into Hydreigon. Or, okay, this was technically a bad play. Hydreigon was the safer play, and it didn't lose me anything, but I felt like being very ballsy this game. I was pretty tilted from all the unfortunate events in this game, so I'm like, alright, I'm just gonna win right here. And I go hard into Excadrill expecting the Sludge Wave, and I get it right. That was a bad play. Just don't do that ever. Just go into your guaranteed switch in. But it worked out for me here, and I get the kill with Earthquake. Crit didn't matter, obviously, even through Shuka Berry, he was at 23%. He goes into Cinderace, not knowing I'm Scarfed, so I don't know about that play. He should have probably scouted for Scarfed, and just gone into like Girder or something. I mean, yeah, I don't really know. But yeah, he just drops the Earthquake here. Finally, he goes into Girder. I have a Slowbro, as I can just go freely into that one. Now I can click Ice Beam. Yep. And yeah, at this point it's a wrap. Next time I get in Excadrill, I can just freely click Iron Head and pick up the win. But yeah, he tries to Wish. I Wish up. I prevent the Girder from coming in on threat of Moonblast, so that's fine. I Aerotherapy here to get rid of the Toxic on Lapras, so I can get that in for free and Whirlpool and essentially kill whatever comes in. Or if he decides to stay in with Clefable, I can kill that. So I Wish pass into Lapras. He clicks Toxic. Now I have full health Lapras, and I can just Whirlpool here. If he stays in, he will just die because obviously he is not Teleport. So yeah, I Whirlpool, and then I click Paraslump, and then he clicks Moonblast. And at this point it's a wrap, because after this is gone, I can actually just click Earthquake with Excadrill. After Spikes, Girder is in range, so he will die. So yeah, we have Lapras in, as we rest up after a couple turns, and this last turn I believe I just go hard into Excadrill, or Slowbro to pivot into Excadrill. Either or works, but it doesn't really matter at this point, it's a wrap. I Mega Evolve as the Flash Cannons, and then I believe I just Ice Beam. Yep, 39%. Because we did get the -1 special attack. Now I double into Excadrill expecting the Roost, as he is in range of Earthquake unless he's max HP, but luckily I get the crit. It doesn't really matter, he can't kill me with any one move anyway, so that's fine. He clicks Mach Punch, not enough damage, and Earthquake takes it out. So, the only misplay I made was going hard into Excadrill on the Nidoqueen. It was don't get it wrong, it was a misplay. Even though it worked out, it was definitely a misplay. The correct play was just to go into Hydreigon and click Dark Pulse, or U-turn out into Excadrill to get it in safely on the Clefable. But yeah, this game was pretty well played by me, and that puts us up 3-1. So if we won one more, we're guaranteed the win, basically. So we have Insanity up next, and we'll go over his team. He brings Spidef Clefairy, Knockoff Softwild, Toxic, Moonblast. Tangrowth is Fizdef, Brick Break, Giga Drain, Knockoff, Toxic, and Spidef, Sleep Talk, Rest, Toxic Crunch, Gyarados. One thing you'll notice is we have a lot of Toxic spam on this team, because this opponent had no poison immunity except for a Metagross. And as you know, Metagross is weak to Dark, and doesn't like getting knocked off like the Fairy either. So anything that has super effective hits versus the Metagross can just run Toxic, and it's not that easily punishable. So Rotom Heat, once again, Toxic, and overheats the Metagross. Seismitoad has Toxic and knockoffs the Metagross. So yeah, everything has Toxic, but yeah, we'll go over the rest of the team. Aegislash is King Shield, Cassie Berry, Shadow Sneak, Close Combat, Shadow Ball. Basically, this is meant to live the Shadow Ball in Shield form, or in Blade form from the Dragon Pulse, so that we can immediately click Shadow Ball if he tries to revenge us with Dragon Pulse. But yeah, the rest of the team is fairly standard. Just rocks Spidef Seismitoad and Spidef Rotom Heat with Pain Split Toxic will switch over Heat. So let's get into the game. Alright, so Rotom Heat leads. Good for us. We can just get a free Volt Switch here. Yep. As he brings in his Rotom Wash, he has to be ready Spadef, as he clicks Toxic, and he misses, so that's pretty lucky for us. But not that big of a deal. He misses Toxic one more time, so this isn't going very well for him. That's actually a pretty big deal, because now he has to spend another turn, and he just lost a lot of tempo. In those 2 turns, we get up Stealth Rocks, and we get rid of his leftovers because of knockoff. He clicks Defog, but that's fine. He paints us here, as I believe we just get up Rocks one more time. Yep. And now we go hard into Clefairy on the Defog. We don't want to take more Toxic Chips, so that's a fine play. And then we double into the Substitute on the Volt Switch to guarantee get rid of this Rotom. So that's good for us. He goes into Torrent to click Knockoff. Unfortunately for us, that means now we're going to be taking Rocks damage on our Rotom because we do not have a Defogger. We get a free Volt Switch here as we can bring in Clefairy and we can click Knockoff for basically free here. Yep, as we do. We get rid of the Eviolite on Tangela, which is good for us. He clicks Leech Seed, which is good for him, but we do technically, if he's Giga Drain, we can outstall him because we are max Spadef. We can just Toxic or Sleep Talk. However, unfortunately for us, unfortunately for him, first of all, he clicks Power Swap and we're not Dragon Dance. So he just goes hard into Obstagoon as we crunch. He gets the HP back and he gets the burn. So now we're in a not so good position. Our Tangrowth does live too, but we are taking quite a bit of damage, so not ideal. We get the Rocky Helmet chip and he parting shots out into his Tornadus. We click Brick Break, so not that good for us. He gets the free U-turn out into Dragapult as he Shadow Balls. He reveals to be Spec Shadow Ball, but our Clefairy is max Spadef, so we can just soft boil that off. Then we go hard into Tangrowth on the Metagross, and here Insanity makes a misplay. So Toxic doesn't really hit anything other than Tornadus, and Tornadus should not come in. The things that should come in is either Tangela, or he should just stay in and Toxic with the Metagross. So Knockoff is definitely the better play, because even if Dragapult comes in, getting rid of his Specs is also very, very nice. So Knockoff was the play 100%. However, Insanity clicks Toxic, and we're in a bad spot now. So next turn we click Knockoff, but Tangela does come in. And we go hard Gyarados because we think we can 1v1 it if it's just Giga Drain. So we click Rest, and unfortunately for us, he reveals to be Grass Knot, which does more than 33%, which means we actually cannot 1v1 it. At this point, we're basically forced into our Rotom, and then we have to sack it to the Obstagoon. So quite unfortunate for us, but it is what it is. He parting shots out as he goes into Tangela, and we click Toxic again. Not that big of a deal, but at this point, the other moves didn't matter. We go into Aegislash on the Tangela. We get rid of our Castleberry because he clicks Knockoff. We click King Shield to get extra Toxic Chip, and then I believe he just clicks Shadow Ball here to take out the Tangela. Yep, that's what happens. The Tornadus comes in, we King Shield, but at this point we're in a losing situation because of the Obstagoon being very, very threatening. We go hard into our Gyarados to try to get some extra damage off, but he crits us with he crits us with Heat Wave and then lands the Hurricane, so unfortunate for us, but we get lucky and we get the crit crunch defense drop on the Tornadus, which means it is in range of Shadow Sneak. However, because we're in range of U-turn, he gets the freely click U-turn. We try to go based off his choke, I think. I think that's what Insanity was doing. Otherwise, the switch into Aegislash didn't really make sense. But, yeah. He U-turns out, and he's definitely in a winning spot now. He Earthquakes to take out our Aegislash, and because this is already Toxic, he can actually 1v1 us now, even if he continuously takes Helmet Chip. We click Toxic once again, trying to go off of his choke, I believe, as he has to go into Tornadus and get Toxic for us to have any chance of winning, but it's not happening right now, it looks like. Anyway, he Meteor Mashes again, and now we click Knockoff, I believe. He reveals to be Cold Burberry, so we don't do that much damage, but it is damage, and we're forced into Frog to sack it. He gets the double attack race, so now it's definitely over. We actually just cannot win. It's just actually impossible to win. We go Gyarados, try and outspeed it if it's min speed. He is not min speed, so unfortunate for us. Then we go into Tangrowth, and we die to the +2 Meteor Mash. And obviously, Clefairy will also die to the +2 Meteor Mash. So now we're 3-2, and we have to go into the last game. If we win, we're the winners of Battle of the Bastards. If we lose, we have to go into tie breaks. So, let's see what happens. So, the final game is actually quite the story. I originally had Love scheduled to play. However, due to some unfortunate events of his not so great network service, we have to sub in Mega Oshawott. Like fairly last minute too. This was one day before the game is supposed to be played. We subbed in Mega Oshawott. So me and Love already built a team, so we used that as the starting backbone. This Drampa is a mixed defensive, and Dragon Tail, Shadow Ball, Defog, Roost. Defog is obvious, Roost is obvious. Shadow Ball is a very spammable move against your opponent's team, and Dragon Tail helps versus Sigilyph. Because we do not have a Dark type on our draft, he can run the Cosmic Power Stored Power set, so we need to be able to make sure that doesn't win immediately, so we have Dragon Tail on the Drampa. Sapsipper is for the Decidueye, because we obviously are immune to his dual stabs if you have Sapsipper, so that's pretty good. Next up we have Chartyberry Sigilyph with this was actually changed to Calm Mind. So with this much defense, we guarantee live Adamant, Life Orb, Stone Edge from the Lycanroc. So if we're at +1, we do 50% to the Lycanroc with Shadow Ball. So if we get enough chip on it, like let's say we bring it down to 60%, we can live the Life Orb, Stone Edge. He will put himself in range of Shadow Ball, and then we will win with Sigilyph from there. So yeah, that's why this set is this set. Primarina is Fizz Def, Restox, and Dual Stab, because we want to be able to take on the opposing Scrafty that could Dragon Dance and try to win. This was changed to a Scarf Roserade set with enough defense to live +2 Excel Rock from the Lycanroc. So it's it was a very weird set, but basically what happened was Oshawott decided we need to play a little bit more offensive. So he decided, okay, Choice Scarf. He wanted Energy Ball to guarantee kill the Lycanroc. He had Shadow Ball because it's a very spammable move. Sludge Bomb because it's good. Dual Stab is good. And then Dazzling Gate for the Scrafty. So something like this. I don't really remember exactly what it was, but it's something similar to this. And yeah. Next up we have Regirock, Choppleberry, Max Fist Def, Body Press, Stealth Rock Toxic. This is a very good set because, Body Press is very good against his team. It hits both the Lycanroc and the Scrafty, and it does a tremendous amount due to our tremendous physical defensive stat. And obviously Stealth Rock is good for support. Rock Blast is good stab and threatens the Sigilyph, which is good, and Toxic is just a free click on some things. So that's what that is for. Choppleberry obviously helps us live the +2 close combat from the Lycanroc, which is very good, because if he decides to stay in, we can click Body Press and take it out immediately. So that's good for us. Next up, we have Blaziken. Choice Scarf Blaziken with U-Turn, Flare Blitz. This knockoff was changed to Poison Jab, I believe, because we wanted to hit the Primarina slightly harder. So that's cool. But yeah, that's the team. Mixed Def, Defog Drampa, CM Sigilyph, Fizz Def, Restock Primarina. Roserade Choice Scarf, Defensive Choice Scarf Roserade, which is pretty cool. Very good idea on Mega Oshawott's end. Fizz Def Regirock with Choppleberry, and Choice Scarf Blaziken. So, let's get into the game. This is what Blaziken leads. We obviously force it out, so we can either click Flare Blitz or we can click U-Turn. We click Flare Blitz, and he reveals to be fairly defensive, because Flare Blitz to just max HP Primarina should do around 40. So he reveals to be very defensive, as we go hard into Primarina on the Ice Beam, and we don't take any damage from it, which is good for us. Unfortunately, Moonblast does do quite a bit. We click Scald, and I believe we get the burn, so that's pretty lucky for us. He goes to Decidueye on Arrest. Good play on his end. And then he makes another good play, I believe, and just clicks U-Turn. Yep, as he does. He goes out to Metang, so we're forced out into Sigilyph, and we click Calm Mind here. I think Shadow Ball was slightly better, just to get some chip on this, so that next time we can Calm Mind, and then we can kill this with the next Shadow Ball. But it's fine. We do have the response of Primarina, as Stone Edge, he reveals not to be Life Orb, which means Stone Edge is not a 2-hit KO, so that's good for us. We click Sleep Talk, we get the Moonblast roll, not Scald Burn, unfortunate, but you know what it is. We go Drampa, and he clicks U-Turn once again. Our Drampa's getting fairly low, but it's not too bad. He gets a free close combat here to pop our Choppleberry, so next time he has these, we will die to close combat, so that's not great. Then he makes a very, very odd play. He goes into Scrafty to take a Body Press, and basically just sacks the Scrafty. Next turn he clicks close combat, and then we click Body Press one more time, just to take out Scrafty. This is a very big deal, because now Primarina is freed up to essentially just be a sack. The only reason Primarina was defensive Rustock was to take on Scrafty. But because Scrafty is dead now, Primarina just becomes a like multi-purpose tool where it can check his it can pivot on his Primarina, it can check his Lycanroc, and it can just spam Rustock versus Metang. So he gets Lycanroc to take us out with close combat, that's fine. I believe we just go into Blaziken. Click close combat. After burn, actually even before burn, he's in range of the next one, so we just click it one more time. Primarina dies, and yeah, he brings in Sigilyph. We go into our jump up. He clicks Calm Mind. We can click Dragon Tail immediately, which is a good play on our end. Unfortunately, we miss, so we have to take the Stored Power, which does quite a bit of damage because he's +2 and he has the defense, the Sped F stat 2, and Stored Power scales off both the boosts. So that's unfortunate. We get lucky and we drag it out to Metang so we can roost off. And then, like I said, because Primarina is no longer useless, Oshawott makes a good play and he just pivots on the Lycanroc into Primarina. This turn he swaps him to Decidueye. I'm not really sure about that play. I guess maybe he didn't want to risk the Stone Edge base. But this obviously will put him in a bad spot if we get the Scald Burn, and we do get the Scald Burn, and he's in a very bad spot now. He roosts up as a Oshawott. I don't know what he was doing here. He clicked Sleep Talk. I guess he just didn't count the turns, but he should have just clicked Rest. But it's probably fine. We're still winning here. He clicks Spirit Shackle, and he does decide to rest here. And yeah, now we can click Sleep Talk pretty freely. Any damage on anything is good. We click Rest though, so that's not ideal, so oh well. We go to Drampa now, as he clicks Cosmic Power. So he does reveal to be Roost, Cosmic Power, Stored Power, Calm Mind. He clicks Stored Power immediately, and we click Dragon Tail immediately. This time we land and brings in Decidueye. So here, once again, is a free Roost. Yep, he goes out into Sigilyph as we get the Roost off. He clicks Roost as, I believe we just Dragon Tail again. Yep. We bring in Lycanroc as, we have full health Primarina now. He clicks Stone Edge. Again, because he's not Life Orb, we live 2. And here we get the Sleep Talk, Scald. I believe we get the crit. Yep, so now he's very low. And we get the free switch into Blaziken as he is forced to Roost. And at this point, Blaziken will pick up a kill with Flare Blitz, I believe. Yep. So he sacks his Metang. He clicks Bullet Punch to get Chip. And then he dies to the second Flare Blitz. So far, so great for us. We're in a very good spot. The only chance of losing now is if Sigilyph does something. We click Flare Blitz one more time as he gets the SD off. But once again, we do have the Choice Scarf defensive Rosary. So we live the Excel Rock and we guarantee kill with the Energy Ball. So yep, he doesn't even click Excel Rock, so he just dies to the Scarf Rosary. And then he brings in his Sigilyph. Still not last month Sigilyph, so we can still Dragon Tail it out if he tries to set up. He Calm Minds. And yep, he does Stored Power, but I believe we just Dragon Tail and we bring that out, and at this point it's over. We can just spam Shadow Ball and then eventually bring in our own Sigilyph and Calm Mind alongside this Sigilyph and kill with Shadow Ball as well. So yeah, we click Shadow Ball eventually. This Decidueye just dies. And then he brings in his own Sigilyph. We bring in our Sigilyph as he brings in his own. We both Calm Mind, and Stored Power doesn't do enough. However, what does do enough is our Shadow Ball, and we win a speed tie to just take it out. And yeah, that's the game. At this point, there was no way for his Sigilyph to win besides a crit, and our Sigilyph is way more favored just to win because Shadow Ball does around 49%, as you saw. Yep, it does 50%, it's a roll. So like 2 50% rolls and it's dead, assuming we're both at max on the special attack after we've boosted to full. So yeah, pretty good game for us. Oshawott seals it up and we win finals, so that's it. We're the champions of Battle of the Bastards. Very good season. I will make a full season recap going over all of our team's records and some closing thoughts and shoutouts and stuff. So be on the lookout for that. But aside from that, this was it. Thanks for watching. Bye.